things, make sure it's all in order, and then we'll go ahead and get this going. I'm going to pull this over just so I can make sure that that is working okay. Got chat up. Looks like the quality of this is just fine, so that's good. Alright, so I'm going to do some Spirit Island solo games here. Let me fix this, actually. There we go. Should be me actually looking at the camera now. So I'm going to go ahead and do some Spirit Island solo games here. One or two, probably. And, yeah. I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do these around in intermediate difficulty, so 4 to 6, nothing too fancy. Let me go ahead and pop up my randomizer here so I can just pick a random seed for this particular game. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this difficulty on intermediate, just for now. I'm going to go ahead and leave off the thematic board. I don't want that. And let me go ahead and go. So I've got Shroud of Silent Mist and Lightning Swift Strike. Alright, so I get a chance of redemption with Shroud of Silent Mist. Had a very poor game with them the other day. So I'll go ahead and I'll stick with this. I'll go for it. And that's going to be against Scotland 3. I do like that matchup against Scotland with Silent Mist more than most others. So let me go ahead and get this all out, and I'll get it set up. If you've never seen Spirit Island before, if you're tuning in for the first time, this will take me about 10 minutes to set up, and with a 2-player game, probably an hour and a half to actually complete. So it can run a little long, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to do Scotland, not doing a scenario. I'm on boards D and A, so let me get those out. Boards D and A. I'm just going to do a standard setup. So let me go ahead and do board D up top, and I'll do board A below that. That should be pretty clear. Okay. Let me go ahead and pull out my spirits. I'll leave Scotland here, just so I know what their setup is once I get to that. I'm going to need to stop this from autofocusing, maybe. Alright, still working out some kinks with the cameras here. It's hard to get a top-down view on a board gaming table like this and have it pick up everything clearly, so something I'm still working on. It looks okay for now though, so I am alright with this. Leave those down. Got my minor powers, got that. Okay, so I've got my spirits as well. Alright, looks okay. I should be able to see everything there. So let me go ahead and start setting this board up. I've got everything I need here over on the left-hand side. One thing I'm going to remember that I've apparently been doing wrong for a long time is the setup for the initial beast on each board goes in the lowest numbered board without any setup symbols. For the longest time I thought it was the highest numbered board with those setup symbols, but I was doing that incorrectly for probably years. So I'm gonna try to fix that. I don't know that it'll make much difference in this particular game. Neither of these spirits are gonna work with beasts at all, but it's good to just know that. Alright. Each of these initial towns actually starts, or each of these initial cities starts with a Dahan there, which might be interesting. I don't know the initial Explore yet. And then for Scotland, I think there are a couple additional things here. So Scotland 3 gets a couple of additional rules and a couple additional setup features. So Scotland level 1, after setup in coastal lands, Explorer cards add 1 town instead of 1 explorer. And coastal lands Invader cards do this for a maximum of 2 lands per board. So that's not going to affect setup, but during the game I'll have to keep that in mind. Level 2 is Seize Opportunity. During setup, add 1 city to land number 2. Go ahead and do that now. place coastal lands, and that's in the stage cards, so I'll go ahead and set those up. So I'm going to place coastal lands as the third stage 2 card, and move 2 stage 2 cards above it up by 1. So let me go ahead and get that all configured. Take out an extra. Alright, so the new deck order, I need my coastal here. So I've got coastal, shuffle the rest. So deck order is going to be 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, coastal, 2, and then all my 3s. So stack this up. And I may as well go ahead and do the initial explore, just so I can get that set up too. It's going to be jungle. So not great for that jungle on board D, and that's going to be Mist Spored, so I'll have to figure out how to mitigate that. Okay. I can move that here. Alright, and then level 3 is chart the coastline. In coastal lands, build cards affect lands without invaders as long as there is an adjacent city. So they're going to build an empty coastal lands as long as there is an adjacent city. Alright, so that's Scotland. Otherwise, not a lot of setup. I'm going to go ahead and throw them over here. Scotland does have an additional loss condition as well. It is a trade hub. If the number of coastal lands with cities is ever greater than, in this case, 4, then Scotland wins. I lose. In this game, if they ever have 5 or more coastal lands with cities, I just lose right away. So I want to try to avoid that. Alright, so I need to go ahead and set up my spirits, and then I will be good to go. So first I need the special cards for each of these. There's lightning. And there is Shroud. Okay. For these, I'm going to go ahead and do yellow and blue. I think those will differentiate well enough. Okay. And my Silent Mist setup is place 2 presents on your starting board, one in the highest numbered wetland, which is coastal in this particular board. It's interesting. And one of the highest numbered mountains. That's going to be all the way up in the corner. As far as Lightning Swift Strike, I put 2 presents in my starting board in the highest numbered sands. So that's going to be right here. I'm going to keep those unstacked as usual, just so it shows up more clearly on the camera. Okay, now that I have those set up, I can go ahead and set up my boards here. Okay. I also need to set up the fear deck. Try not to forget that. Otherwise, I think I'm good to go. Okay. So I'm pretty comfortable playing against Scotland, but I'm not comfortable at all playing against Shroud of Silent Mist. So we'll see if I can improve a little bit on that spirit. Alright, then Fear deck I've already shuffled. For Scotland 3, it is 4, 5, 4. And now I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So with this game, I'm going to be trying to generate lots of fear from Shroud of Silent Mist, whereas Lightning is going to focus on destroying things. So for this particular turn, I'm going to try to mitigate some of the jungles, because they're going to be building and then ravaging next turn. As far as how to do that, I'm not 100% sure just yet. With Shroud, let's see, I'll probably be going add 2 presence to the board just to kind of get some stuff off. I think that's going to be the best way to start here. Problem is, if I do that, I don't get a lot of energy. So this will probably be play, just to get some fear up. So I'm going to play 2 presents at a range of 0. So I'll put 1 in here and 1 in here. My presents can kind of move around a little bit thanks to my special rule. So I don't need them all to be in any particular place. I gain 1 energy, and I have 2 card plays. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Fog Closes In. And Flowing and Silent Forms Dart By. Flowing and Silent Forms Dart By is probably just going to be used for fear. Fog Closes In is going to be used to damage some of these cities here, and that's going to let me kind of save that land, and also generate fear as we go along. Alright, so that's going to be Shroud's turn. I'm going to hit the first level of my innate, and I'll also have Lost in the Swirling Haze, so it seems like the best play to start out. As far as lightning goes, I probably want to add 2 presents as well. And this is actually an interesting combination of spirits with Shroud of Silent Mist. Raging Storm, normally kind of a trap card in my opinion. It's very expensive, and 1 damage to each invader can be good, but usually is a bit of a trap. But in this particular game with Shroud of Silent Mist, this card is going to be excellent. So I'm going to want to keep that in mind so that I can damage some invaders, and Shroud can kind of mess with them throughout the game. Alright, but I don't want to do that first. First up, I do want to add a couple presents. I don't need 3 card plays right off the bat, so I'll probably go up the energy track. Unlock that 2 energy per turn, seems pretty good. I don't need to give Shroud's fast powers just yet, so I don't need to play Lightning's Boon. So I'll probably go these 2, and if I get 2 energy per turn, I will be able to use that. So let's see. So I can add a presence at a range of 2, and then range 0. So I can basically just set up a Sacred Site anywhere within range 2 of me. I'm going to be pushing Dahan into there. I think that'll be fine. And I can Shatter Homesteads to try to set that up. Okay. So that'll help me deal with that, and it'll set up some fear as well. So I'll go ahead and go over here. So I can get next to this land, and I think that'll be okay. So that's 2 away. I gain 2 energy for this turn. And I'm going to start with Shatter Homesteads and Harbingers of the Lightning. And that'll be my initial turn with Lightning. I've picked my powers. Now it's going to go to the fast phase. In the fast phase, I'm going to go ahead and use Harbingers of Lightning as a fast power. Thanks to my special rule, Swiftness of Lightning. I'll push these 2 Dahan into this land, and then I get 1 fear because I pushed Dahan into a land with a town. And then I'm going to go ahead and Shatter Homesteads. I don't want them to build a city up here. If they stay with a town, that's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and Shatter Homesteads, destroy this town, which gets me a fear, and then an additional fear just for the card itself. And that'll be my turn with Lightning. As far as Shroud goes, I can get 2 fear if invaders are present. I need to be in that land. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. It's range 0. But one of my special rules here is Mist, Shift, and Flow. When targeting to a land with a power, I may gather one of my presence into that target or an adjacent land, and that can enable me to reach range and targeting. So I'm going to go ahead and move this in here, with flowing and silent forms dart by, I'm going to generate 2 fear. So get me close to a fear card already, which is great. And that is my fast phase. Goes to the Invader Phase, we flip an event, just ceremonially. It's not going to do anything this first turn. And then the Invaders go. They're going to go ahead and build in jungles. So they'll build here, 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 and this one will just lose its disease. And that's that. And then they're going to go ahead and explore in wetlands. Probably make this more accessible, but that's alright. So because of Scotland's power, that's not great, honestly, because each of these is going to be a town, because they're exploring coastal. And actually, altogether they get 3 towns because of that wetland explorer. So that's going to be dangerous. And then they do get 1 explorer there. Okay. So that's that. Next up is going to be slow powers. So I do have the fog closes in, I have suffocating shroud, and I have lost in the swirling haze. I don't have thundering destruction just yet. So with that, so with Shroud, I kind of want to damage those cities so that I can stop them from ravaging. It's just they do not participate, right? Do not participate. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and target this land here with Lost in the Swirling Haze. Hold this presence in there to meet that targeting, and then I'm going to push 1 Dahan into here. Ravage, yeah, that'll be fine. Then I'll use the fog closes in here. For each adjacent land with my presence, 1 damage to a different invader. I'll go ahead and damage both of these cities. And then I can push 2 Dahan. Let's see. So I kind of want them where the wetlands are. I don't really need them to be in that jungle, just because I'm going to be stopping them from ravaging completely. So defense won't matter. Fighting back won't matter. And then I have Suffocating Shroud. I can do 1 damage at a range of 1. I'll go ahead and do that 1 damage here to that land. Okay. Yep. That is going to be my turn with Mists. Time passes. During time passes, slow and silent death happens. So invaders and Dahan in my lands don't heal damage. During time passes, 1 fear per land of mine with damaged invaders. That's 1, 2. And then 1 energy per 3 lands of mine with damaged invaders. Unfortunately, I only have 2 lands with damaged invaders, so that doesn't happen quite yet. So these cards get discarded. And I'm back to growth. With Lightning Swift Strike, I want to get my 3rd card play unlocked because I'm going to gain a power card next turn, and playing 3 cards will be super useful. So even though I don't have 3 card plays just yet, I want to be able to get to that 3rd card play. So I'm going to add a presence at a range of 1. And I'll start moving over to Shroud's board, I think. I'll just stick in deserts. You know, that works out okay. With Shroud of Silent Mist, don't know if I should gain a power card or if I should add 2 presence again. I think I need to gain a power card just to try to get some energy up. And I'll do that before I add my presence, just so I can determine which presence track that I want to go from. So let's get 4 minors. My options here are Promises of Protection. I'll move that so it's easier to see. Fast power, range 2 from a sacred site. Gather up to 2 Dahan. Dahan have +2 health while on target land. That's pretty good, actually. Gold's Allure. Gather 1 Explorer and 1 Town. Add 1 Strife. That's pretty good. Swarming Wasps. Add 1 Beast. If target land has Beast, push up to 2 Explorers. Okay. And then Visions of Fiery Doom. It's a fast card, range 0, 1 Fear, push 1 Explorer Town. I'm not going to take any of these because they all have fire, and I want to make sure to gain a card that does not have fire. So I'm going to gain Promises of Protection. Because I gained a power card that doesn't have fire, I get 1 energy. That was really the only choice that I had. So now I can go ahead and add a presence. Promises of Protection is not bad, actually. But I think I'll save it till next turn because I'll be able to use that here just to keep those from doing it. So I do want to play Unnerving Pall. Fortunately, I won't have the energy for Dissolving Vapors, so this might be just a 1 card play turn. It's not great, but I'm not sure that I have a better option. So I'll go ahead and go from top track so I can get that second water. That's going to Ravage, that's fine, I can ignore it. This will Ravage, this will Ravage. I'll have a bunch of white on the board, but I don't really care about that just yet. I'm not going to lose any Dahan, not going to lose any presence, so I think that's totally fine. It's just kind of setting up for later things. So I think I'll go in here so I can try to damage that. Might not be able to this turn, but that's okay. I get 1 energy for growth, and I could play Promises of Protection too. It's not gonna let me meet any of my thresholds. But I will be able to kill everything there, which is not bad. So in that case, instead of there, I'm going to add my presence up here. And that'll let me kind of clear that out, I think. Okay. And then on Lightning, I have 2 cards left. I kind of need to get the energy. I played from bottom so I could get 3 card plays just for next turn. I don't need those 3 card plays now. I do get 3 energy from growth and 2 from presence. So I'm going to go ahead and go 1 there and 3 there. Yeah, I think that is okay. I think I'll probably wait and play Raging Storm in the slow phase just so I know where things are. And that way I can get more damage things for mists. So I'm going to wait to play Raging Storm. I will play Lightning's Boon on Shroud of Silent Mist. Lets him use slow powers as if they were fast. The only slow power I have is my innate Lost in the Swirling Haze. And I don't really need to do that. But I may as well just push this Dahan back here. Been moving them back and forth, but that's okay. Then it'll fight back and kill that Explorer, so that's fine. Okay, so that's Lightning. For Shroud of Silent Mist, I'm going to go ahead and target this land with Unnerving Pall. So it's 1 Fear, which gets me a Fear card. And up to 3 damaged invaders do not participate in Ravage. So these cities are not going to participate in Ravage. The Explorer will, but that's fine. Then I'm going to use Promises of Protection here, gather to Dahan, and Dahan have +2 health while in target land. So each of these Dahan has 4 health. And that is my fast phase. Let me go ahead and go to an event. Bureaucrats adjust funding. On each board with 9 or more towns and cities, doesn't matter. On each board with 3 or fewer towns and cities, also doesn't matter, so that one's fine. Okay, so instead, I'm going to get Terrifying Beasts, 2 fear per board with 2 or more beasts, also doesn't affect anything. And then Coordinated Defense when invaders ravage if the land has both presence and Dahan defend 5. Not going to matter, that's fine. So completely useless event, nothing actually happened with that. Next I get a fear card. Tread carefully. Each player may choose a land with Dahan or adjacent to at least 5 Dahan. Invaders do not ravage there this turn. Okay, that's fine. I kind of want these ravages to go through just so that they fight back and kill those towns. So I don't know that I really want to do that. 1 Dahan will die in each, but then they'll fight back and kill each town. I mean, it stops some blight, but I don't know that I really care about that, so I'm not going to do anything with this one. So next up I go to the Ravage. Here first, they will do 3 damage, which will kill 1 Dahan and add a blight. And the remaining Dahan will fight back and kill that town. This generates a fear. Exact same thing happens here. So I'll go ahead and add that blight, kill a Dahan, and kill a town. And technically these Dahan are damaged, which can matter because I do have Shroud. So keep them damaged. Here, same thing. They'll go ahead and blight the land, but in this case the Dahan have extra health, so they survive, and both of these die. This one will be down to 1. That's another fear. And then here, Dahan will fight back against this guy. He did do 1 damage to the Han, which I do need to keep track of. And they will fight back and kill that Explorer. But no damage to the land in that one. So that is the Ravage. Next up is Build in Wetlands. We're going to go ahead and build. Do I just lose? No, I don't. Close though. So they'll build there and there. And then this will go away. And then they'll build here. Now, Scotland's special rule is if there are 5 or more lands on a coast that have cities, then they win. And right now I have 4, so I can't let another coastal city go through. Gotta take care of this. But for now, it's okay. And then explore in mountains with escalation. So let's see. So another coastal one. But the others are. And then Scotland's escalation is ports sprawl outward. On the single land with the most coastal towns and cities, which is this one, add 1 town to the N lands with the fewest towns, N being the number of players. So I'm going to add 2 towns onto board D, into the lands with the fewest towns. I can probably safely put it into that jungle, and I don't want to put it into a mountain, so I'll just throw it into that sands as well, and that should be fine. Okay, I can remove those markers. And then slow powers. So one thing I'll have to do is stop this from building. If it builds a city, then I will lose, unless I deal with the cities here. Fortunately, with lightning, I should be able to. Alright. So, with slow powers here, I do have Raging Storm, and that's my only one. So with Raging Storm, I'm going to go ahead and do damage to each of these. So this will be down to 2 health. And that'll be 1. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. go time passes. During time passes, I have 3 lands with damaged invaders and Shroud of Silent Mist. 1, 2, 3. So I get 3 fear for that and 1 energy. And then we go back to growth. So back to growth here. With Lightning Swift Strike, I have to reclaim, and I'm going to gain a minor power card. Okay, my choices here are Unquenchable Flames. It does have fire, which is good. It's 1 damage to towns and cities. Invaders do not heal damage at the end of the turn. And then add 1 Badlands. Badlands is going to be okay with mists, so it could be a choice. Gift of Twinned Days. Once per turn, this target spirit may repeat the lowest cost power card they have in play by paying its cost again. You may do likewise. Pretty cool. Scream Disease into the Wind. It does have air. Target spirit gets +1 range with all their powers. Once per turn, after target spirit uses a power targeting a land, they may add 1 disease to the land. Also not bad. And then Cycles of Time and Tide. If there are Dahan, add Dahan. If there are no Dahan, remove 1 blight. It's a good card, but it doesn't really match my elements. And the elements are going to be important. So I'm going to go between Unquenchable Flames and Scream Disease into the Wind. And I think I'll go Unquenchable Flames. Those Badlands are going to be nice for Shroud's lands eventually. I also gain 1 energy from that growth option. And I'll go ahead and play my cards for Lightning now before I go into Shroud. So I could Raging Storm again. I don't really need to worry about this one Ravaging. Nothing's going to happen there. I can't really get up there to help too much. So it could be a time for Lightning's Boon, possibly. Yeah, let me wait on that. I'll do my growth here from Shroud first. I want to put off Reclaiming. I want to get more presence on the board first, but I do need a new power card, so I'm going to gain a minor for that. And I think I want to go top track still. Gets me closer to unlocking that extra air, which is going to be very nice. And the 2 energy per turn is gonna help a lot. So let me go top track. I can place this at a range of 3 to a mountain or wetlands. And I'll go ahead and check it in here. And gain minors. Okay. So first up here, I have Gift of Nature's Connection. Target spirit either gains 2 energy or 2 of a single element. Pretty good. And if you target another spirit, you gain an element of your choice. That one's very nice. Prowling Panthers. 1 fear, add 1 beast. If land has beast, destroy 1 explorer or town. That's okay. And it has fire, which is not good. Thriving Choke Fungus. It's got moon and water, which I like. It's add 1 disease and 1 badlands. It's not bad. Not bad at all. And then Absorb Corruption. Gather 1 blights and pay 1 energy to remove 1 blight. I don't think I've grabbed that one. I'm between Thriving Choke Fungus and Gift of Nature's Connection. Thriving Choke Fungus, I'll be able to play fast thanks to Lightning, which will let me deal with everything here, I think. Yeah. I'll be able to just kill that, which is probably worth it. I won't have 2 air though, so I won't get my Suffocating Shroud, which is not ideal, but I think it could be okay. And I do want to try to pull a guy out of there. Yeah, let's go for that. So I'm going to take the Thriving Choke Fungus. Especially since the coast is all jungle and wetlands, and the coast is really what I care about, I think that card's going to be good. I gain 2 energy from growth. Or from presence, excuse me. And then I'm going to play both these cards. Dissolving Vapors and Thriving Choke Fungus. Pay for those. With Lightning Swift Strike, I do want to play Lightning's Boon as one of my 3 card plays. So that's definitely on there. Unquenchable Flames is probably okay. I do want to Shatter Homesteads as well, so I can clean up some towns. Stop cities from being built. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And I'm going to have 2 energy from presence here, so I'll have 4 total, so I can't play a Raging Storm again, which is okay. But I could do either Unquenchable Flames or Harbingers of Lightning. I don't need the extra air, I don't think. So I could play Unquenchable Flames. Start setting some stuff up. One fear. Add Badlands. Yeah, let's go with that. I'll give this a try and see how it works. So that's 1, 2, and 1. Expensive, but that's okay. Alright. So that is the Presence phase, or the Spirit phase. Now I'm going to go into Fast Powers. So for Fast Powers, I have a couple here, but first up, Lightning Swift Strike is going to use Lightning's Boon on Shroud of Silent Mist so that he can use Slow Powers fast. With being able to use Slow Powers fast, first thing I'm going to do is use Thriving Choke Fungus. It's 1 range from a Sacred Site, so I'm going to move this guy in here so I can meet the targeting requirement. And then I'm going to add 1 Disease and 1 Badlands into this coastal land. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Dissolving Vapors here. It's 1 Fear, 1 damage to each invader, plus an extra because of the Badlands, which will be enough to kill everything in here. So that's going to be 3 more Fear. Gets me another Fear card. So this land is going to be a problem, but you know, it's not a game I'm caring about the Nahan too much. Alright, then back to Lightning. So Lightning can get up to 2, so I have 3 slow powers of Lightning. I can make 2 of them fast because I have 2 air. First up, I think I'll use Thundering Destruction. Katniss, this is not a place for you. Alright, I'm going to use Thundering Destruction, and I'm going to clear this out from this land. So that's 1 Fear. Next I can Shatter Homesteads, which I think I'll save for this land. I can use them in the slow phase and destroy the town that gets built there. So I will save Shatter Homesteads. So that means that I can use Unquenchable Flames fast. It's 1 Fear, 1 damage to towns and cities, and invaders do not heal at the end of the turn. And I have the kicker, so I can add a Badlands. It's 2 range from a Sacred Site, so I can hit a couple of these Mist lands. Oh, this would have healed, as would this. Yeah, okay. Just to make this land easier to deal with a little bit later on, I'll go ahead and hit that now. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. So that's 1 Fear, 1 damage to this town. Invaders there do not heal, but I'm going to be moving this stuff in there anyway. And then I also get a Badlands in there. Okay. So those are all my fast powers. Next up I have... Goodbye, cat. Next up I have the Invader Phase. I'll start that off with an event. We've still got a healthy island, so cities rise. On each board in the lands with the most towns, replace 2 towns with 2 cities. Or if there is only 1, replace with 1. So I don't have any land with more than 1 town, fortunately. Kind of cleared that out. So what I can do, this is going to Ravage anyway, as is this. I'm going to be on a Blighted Island this turn for sure. But I don't know that I care that much. I don't want to put him on the coast just because that'll be harder to deal with. So I'll go ahead and do this one here. And this one here. Okay. Alright. Next up, Beasts chase off homesteaders. On each board, push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beasts. My lands with beasts are empty, so that's fine. And then careful defense. When invaders ravage, if the land has Dahan, defend 2. So I don't think that'll save anything in here, but I do have a fear card up, so we'll see what that does. So fear card here, Terror level 1. For each player may push 1 Dahan from a land with invaders, or gather 1 Dahan into a land with invaders. Interesting. So that gives me a choice up here. I could possibly... So let's see, how much damage are they doing? They're doing 5 damage. I have defend 2. So if I pull the Dahan in here, they're going to do 3 damage to the Dahan and kill 1 of them. And the 2 remaining Dahan would fight back and kill everything in there. So I do want to do that. I'm going to pull a Dahan in here. And then I can do 1 more. And I could just save the Dahan in here, because I'm not doing anything about that land. So I'm going to gather that Dahan into here. Okay. So that's the event. And the fear card, next I go to the Ravage. They're going to Ravage here. Didn't do anything about it. Same thing here. And I flip over to a Blighted Island. I have Disintegrated Ecosystem. Immediately on each board, destroy 1 beast. Goodbye, beasts. Then add 1 blight to a land with towns and cities. Oof, okay. Ouch. So that's going to cause a cascade on this board at the very least. This one, I'll just throw it up in that sands. This one, I've got to do it here, really. And then I could have it cascade over here. Not great, but that's okay. And then I have 5 blight per player on the Blighted Island card. So that'll be 10 blight. So it's unlikely I'm going to lose by blight unless every land gets blighted, which, you know, it's possible. Okay. So that was that and that. This one's empty. This one is going to Ravage. It will also blight. Because of the defend 2, only 1 of these Dahan is going to die. They're doing 3 damage. 1 of these will take a damage. And then these Dahan are going to fight back, doing 4 damage. 3 to the city, 1 to the town. Kills both. And that gets me 3 fear. Alright. That's the Ravage. Next up, they're going to build in mountains. A couple of those. So build, build. And then explore wetlands with escalation. Wetlands again, not great. So because of that, they're going to build towns there. And another town here, which is really bad. And an explorer there. Okay. It's not great. Hello. Welcome for joining now. I'm a couple turns into this game as Lightning and Shroud against Scotland level 3. Alright. And then the escalation for Scotland is going to be on the single board with the most coastal towns and cities. Add 1 town to the 2 lands with the fewest towns. So this time, let's see, I've got 4 here, 4 here, so I can choose. And I will choose this board, actually. I'll go ahead and put him into the deserts. This is healed. Okay. Alright, slow powers here. So I saved Shatter Homesteads. I'm going to go ahead and use it on this land. It's a range 2. Or there. Do 1 fear for killing the town, and 1 fear for the card itself. And that gets me a fear card. Then I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, the only other slow power I had was Lost in the Swirling Haze, where I can push up to 1 Han. So, is there any good place to do that? The Ravaging in Mountains next turn, which I do need to deal with. I'll push the, I'm going to move this in here to meet the targeting requirements, and then push one of these to Han into that mountain. I think that's the best play. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. So that was here. I want to get my guy into that damaged town, but I don't think that I can. Shoot. Oh, no, I can. So I'm going to do it from this land instead, and push this one up here. Okay. So that's that. Time passes, let me discard all these cards. And during time passes, Shroud of Silent Mist gets to get 1 fear per land with damage invaders. So I have 1, 2. 2 fear, and then I only have 2, so I don't get any energy for that. Okay, back to growth. So I do want to keep growing with Lightning. I don't really want to reclaim just yet. I might have to. And I do still have 3 card plays, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to have to reclaim again. That'll give me 6 cards, so I'll get to push off the reclaim next turn by a little bit. So I might just do that. I'm going to have 3 energy with that. And I'll be able to use Thunder and Destruction again. Yeah, I think that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and reclaim once more with Lightning Swift Strike. Gain another minor. Don't know how these end up upside down. Get my 1 energy before I forget. I've got Land of Haunted Emperors. It's got great elements, but it does add a blight, so that's not ideal. Lots of fear, though. Lots of fear and good elements. Elusive Ambushes. Let's see. Targets land with Dahan, 1 damage, or defend 4. It's okay. Portents of Disaster, 1 fear, or 2 fear, excuse me. Next time an invader is destroyed in target land this turn, plus 1 fear. So I guess it's basically a card that's going to get me 3 fear. And then Terror turns to Madness. If the Terror level is 1, 3 fear, 3 fear, and that's strength. Okay, that's alright. So, good options here. Not really sure what's best. This is basically 3 fear, but nothing else. This one is 4 fear, and because I'm going to target a land with Blight, but it adds Blight. Really want to do. I've already got a lot of blight on the board. I don't have any way to clean it up. The elements are perfect though, which does make it tempting. And 0 energy. 4 air. Gives me a little bit of flexibility with that. And those builds in. I think I'm going to go Elusive Ambushes, because it will let me deal with the problem this turn, and it's not a bad card. Okay. 2 energy for growth. I'm going to go ahead and play Elusive Ambushes. I will also play, let's see, Harbingers of Lightning. Probably don't need. Shatter Homesteads, I might need again. Do I need Lightning's Boon this turn is the big question. So let me go ahead and take a break from Lightning and go back to Shroud. Those coastal wetlands are a problem. This one's not, but the other one is, and these two are a big problem. So if I can get over to here, that's going to be very useful. Stop that from cascading. Although actually I'm in a reclaim cycle, so I have to reclaim. I do gain a power card for the reclaim though, which is going to be okay. Let's see, I'll have 4 energy, possibly more, so I could go for a major. If I do that, I'm going to have to forget a card. Probably Promises of Protection. It did a good thing for me, but I don't think it'll be useful. So yeah, let me go ahead and gain a major. I'll see what happens with that. Okay, I've got Weaved Together, the Fabric of Place, pretty good. Good elements as well, so that's not bad. And I actually probably will be able to hit the kicker eventually. Draw Towards the Consuming Void, I'm not going to have the energy for that. Same with Transform to a Murderous Darkness. Again, elements are good. And then the Jungle of Hungers. Yeah, I think Weaves Together the Fabric of Place is going to be the play. I can do some fun things with that, I think. And then I'll go ahead and forget Promises of Protection. Okay. So, that was Reclaim. For growth, I get 2 energy. Promises, I also gain 1 energy for gaining Weave Together the Fabric of Place. That gives me 5 total. I'm not going to play it this turn, I don't think, because I'm not going to be able to hit the air threshold quite yet. So this one's I've got dealt with. This one I don't. I could defend it. And with the defense, I could have stuff fight back if I use fast powers. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll play Unnerving Call. I have 2 card plays. Unfortunately. I need to play another one with air, so it's going to be the Fog Closes In, Dissolving Vapors, or Flowing in Silent Form Start by. If I use it just for the fear, that's probably okay. Fog Closes In will be okay up in that coastal wetland after they build though, so let me go ahead and do that. So that's that. So just 2 energy spent this turn. It's alright. I do want fast powers, so with... Let's see, where am I? Yep. Lightning, I will go ahead and play Lightning's Boon. And then I can play one more 0 or 1 cost power. So I'm going to probably be Harbingers of Lightning, so I can move some Dahan around. Do Unquenchable Flames. No, I need the elements, so yeah, I'll do Harbingers of the Lightning. 1. Okay, let's see what happens. So I'm going to go into fast powers first. First up, I'm going to target Shroud of Silent Mist with Lightning's Boon, so I can use slow powers fast. I have just the first level of Lost in the Swirling Haze. Can push up to one Dahan. So first, actually, I'm going to use Unnerving Paw so I can get the 2 defense. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. So I have 2 defense in this mountain, and I get a fear for that. Next up, I'm going to use Lost in the Swirling Haze. I'm going to go ahead and target this land, moving this into there. And then I'll push, this would have healed at the end of last turn. Then I'll go ahead and push this Dahan in there. And I can use one of my other 2 slow powers fast as well. So I have Fog Closes in, which I'm going to wait on. And I have Suffocating Shroud. Might be okay. Yeah, Suffocating Shroud is going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and play Suffocating Shroud as a fast power, using it here. It does 1 damage, plus 1 from the Badlands, and I'll just kill that. So I don't have to worry about that next turn. I wasn't going to build anyway, but it at least stops that. Or do I want to get in here and damage that city? That might be better. Yeah, let me take that back. So take that fear back. I'm going to use it on this land and do 1 damage to the city. Okay, I don't have any extra levels yet. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. With Elusive Ambushes, I'm going to go ahead and defend 4 here. And then I have 2 airs, so I can use both my slow powers fast. I may as well. I'm going to go ahead and use Harbingers of the Lightning to push 2 Dahan in here. Try to set up something there. Get 1 fear. And then I'll use my Innates. I still only have the first level, so I can destroy 1 town. I don't think that I want to do it now. I'm going to wait until the slow phase for that. Yeah, I'll wait until the slow phase so I can see what happens. Okay. So now we go to an event. Strange Tales attract explorers. I'm in stage 1 still, 'cause stage 1 card is showing on the deck. Now, 1 fear per spirit that has at least 1 sacred site. I have a sacred site on both, so that's 2 fear, not bad. Add 1 explorer to each land with a sacred site. Ouch, okay. That's there. Beasts attack. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys a town city. I have no beasts, sadly, so that's fine. Coming of Age. On each board, add 1 Dahan to a mountains or sands with Dahan. So I get some of those Dahan that I lost back. Alright, I think it's more important to wipe this one out, so I'll put that there. And on this board, I can only do it here. 1 fear card, still terror level 1. Unfortunately, it went away. Isolation. Each player removes one explorer or town from a land where it's the only invader. Cool. So that's gonna be good. I can remove this. I don't want to remove this one, but I can remove this, which is good. Stop that from building. Although I was going to do damage to each of those invaders there. You know, I think it's still fine, because I'll be able to do it somewhere else. Yeah, that's good. Okay. That's my fear card. Alright, then I go into the Ravage. So Ravage and Mountains. So this one does 1 damage to an Ahan, and then Ahan fight back and kill that fool. Next up is this one, 70. This one here is defended 4, so the Ahan takes 0 damage, and they'll fight back and kill both of these, getting me a fear and another fear card. And that pushes me into Terror level 2. So now if I destroy all the cities and towns, I win. And then this one here is defended 2, the Ahan will fight back. Do I want them to kill that town? I don't think I do, actually. I'm going to have them kill the Explorer. This one does take a damage. It's not going to heal up, so that's fine. And damage that so I can get Soak Fear and stuff off of it. So that will be better. Okay, that was the Ravage. Next up is build in Wetlands. So they are going to build here anyway, because of Scotland's level 3 ability. Coastal cards, in coastal lands, build cards still affect lands so long as they're in an adjacent city, which there is. That one is just going to lose its disease. This one gets a town, and this one gets yet another town. And then I get a brief respite with this Terror level, Escalation level 1 card. They're going to explore in sands, which none of them are coastal, so that's a-okay by me. And I believe the next card is going to be the Coastal Explorer, so I should be able to deal with that. This land and these two could still be problems, though. This one especially. Okay. So that's that. Then it goes to slow powers. I have 1 slow power left on Shroud of Silent Mist. Since the fog closes in. And let's see. Could damage up that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and target this land. Pull one of these guys in here. For each of my... for each adjacent land with my presence, 1 damage to a different invader. So I can do 2 damage. I'll do 1 to the city, 1 to the explorer. And that gives me another land with damaged invaders for mists to just kind of leech off of. And then I get Lightning Swift Strike. I had Thundering Destruction that I left, so I can destroy 1 town. And I guess that coastal one is probably the best bet. No, I don't want these to like double cascade. That would be problematic. Although stopping the build in sands is probably going to be okay. So I'm going to use it here, destroy this town, get a fear. Might be a mistake. We'll see. So I got some of my money discarded. These get discarded. These get discarded. And during time passes, I get 1 fear per land of mine with damaged invaders with Shroud presence. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a max of 5 as well, so I hit the max. So that's 5 fear, which is good. And then 1 energy per 3 lands of mine with damaged invaders. So 1 energy. Okay. Alright, and then I move on. So let's go ahead and see what I can do. So with Shroud of Silent Mist, I probably want to add 2 presence down. And man, I'm not going to be able to stop that Ravage, am I? 4 energy. I'm going to gain 2. So I will be able to do this. Alright, let's deal with Shroud in a little bit, because there are a bunch of options that I have that are kind of complicated. I don't want to have to reclaim again on Lightning. I want to get some presence down and get some more card plays up. So I want to get to 4 card plays, so I'll have that next turn. Really, I could get to 5, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to just go to 4 card plays. I only have 3 cards, but I'll have the 4 card plays during the reclaim. And I'm going to gain 3 energy as well. And I want this guy, I guess I want another Sacred Slate, so I'm going to throw him in here. And gain 3 energy. And then gain 2 energy for presence. And I'm just going to play all my cards. I think I have enough. Yeah, just barely. So Raging Storm fast is going to be the key here. I think this has 2 health, not 1. So let me fix that, because it's probably going to matter. I might just have to let this go. That's going to cascade, unfortunately. It's healed. Okay, as long as I stop another cascade, I think I'll be able to work with that. Okay. So on Shroud, I think I want to grow twice, add 2 presence. So I can start getting that bottom track, which is going to be very important. I want that extra air, and I want the move of presence. So I'm going to add 2 presence. I may as well do them into here, and then I'll figure out what to do from there. Okay, I get to move a presence with growth. I'll move it in here. And then gain 2 energy as part of that. I have 6. I'm going to be using Weave Together the Fabric of Place. Great elements. And I'll be able to use that to just push things out of there. I think that's okay. Okay. I'll have a fear card. I'll have 2 fear cards, Terror level 2, so... Alright, let's see what I can do here. Okay, so fast powers. First up, I'm going to use Weave Together the Fabric of Place with Shroud of Silent Mist. I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 wetlands. Next up, I've got Flowing and Silent Forms Dart By. I'm going to use that up here in this wetlands. 2 fear if invaders are present, so that gets me my second fear card. And 1 presence in target land would be destroyed. Its owner may instead push that presence, so that's cool. Okay, unfortunately I don't have fast powers this turn, so these will be able to be slow, but I will have the second level of each of them, so that's gonna be pretty good. Yeah. Okay, cool. Next, I go to Lightning. Lightning is going to go ahead and use Raging Storm on this land here. It's 1 damage to each invader. That's going to be this one, and then I can do 2 damage to this thanks to the Badlands there to kill that city. Do Unquenchable Flames there is a fast power as well, it's probably okay. And then I won't have to use the other one, yeah, okay. We'll each just have 1 health, but I guess that's kind of what I have to do. So I'm going to use Unquenchable Flames as a fast power here as well, put the Badlands into this one, gets me 1 fear, and then 1 damage to each town or city, or 1 damage to town or city. But thanks to the other Badlands there, that's going to let me kill both those towns. Which gets me 2 more fear. So that was Unquenchable Flames and Raging Storm. I played them both fast. I only have 2 air, so my other powers are going to be slow this turn. So that's okay. Okay, so that's that. So next up is an event. I have a Blighted Island. So power fades. Each spirit chooses independently to destroy 2 of their presence, forget 2 of their powers, or take 1 card from the Blight card and remove it from the game. I'm just going to do that because I still have a lot of Blight on the Blight card, and if all that ends up on the board, I'm just going to lose to Cascades anyway. So I'll remove 2 Blight from the Blight card. I think that's the right play. I will have 1 Cascade. I will have a double Cascade this turn, so that'll be 3, and then I'll have 4 left, possibly. Oof, gonna be tight, but I'll do that. Sand Fever Outbreak. On each board, add 1 disease to the sands or mountains with the most towns and cities. Minimum 1. Sands or mountains. So that's only this one on this board. So I'll stop that city from being built. That's good. And then on the other board there, it's going to be one of these 2. I don't know if I care to stop that town from being built, so I'll throw it up here instead. And then Offerings of Pattern Dance. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among all its lands gains +1 energy. I don't know that either of them does. Oh, I do on Shroud. 2 fear cards, tier level 2, and we get defense. So Dahan Threaten. Each player adds 1 Strife in a land with Dahan. For the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health. Okay, cool. So that's going to stop Ravage and Cascade here, which is great. I don't know that I'll be able to do anything about that. It's just going to Cascade. So I'll throw this somewhere else where it might do some good. Maybe here. Oh, there's no Dahan there, so I can't. So, you know, I will throw it under a city here. I've got 2 Dahan in that land. Maybe I'll get like a coastal defense thing, so we'll see. And then Angry Mobs. Let's see. In each land with 2 or more explorers, destroy 1 explorer town per 2 explorers. Unfortunately, no explorers here. The only one where that matters, let's see, here, they're going to kill 1, so that's okay. And then here it's better, because they will destroy this town. And that's it. Alright, so I will have a super cascade here. Oh well. Alright, Ravage in wetlands. So let's do this first. Those Dahan will both die. Sorry guys, I pushed you in there for bad reason. Malintent. This will go away. Got a second Blight in that land. And then I'm going to cascade it in this direction. And get 1 up there. Okay, that's that. This collective wetland is empty, so that's fine. Actually, that will stay there. This one, that guy's doing no damage thanks to the Strife, but the Dahan will still fight back and kill him and get me an extra fear. that is the Ravage. Next up is Build in Sands. So I've got a couple of those. Let's see. One. Okay. And then explore coastal. So I'm glad I cleared some of those out, but this one is going to be a huge problem. So I'll do that as the that. Thing is, I'm generating a lot of fear per turn, so I might be able to put that guy there, and that guy there. Let me flip these around. I'll do it this way. No extra escalation for this though, so that's good. Alright. This goes away, none of these got destroyed. And I am to slow powers, and I've got a couple of those. So first up, I'm going to use one of my destroy things here, probably Thundering Destruction. Destroy that. Gets me a fear. And I am to another fear card. Trying to race through the fear deck. I've also got Shatter Homesteads. It's got a range of 2, so I could just deal with this Sands right now. I'll shatter that Homestead, gets me 2 fear. And then with Shroud, I've got both of its innates, so Lost in the Swirling Haze and Suffocating Shroud, both at level 2. The nice thing is at the end of the turn I'll be able to move this in here, just because of the way Weave Together the Fabric of Place works. I won't have to worry about that guy. So Ravage. Can't really stop any of the coastal things from happening, because that's going to build anyway. Deal with this. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll use Lost in the Swirling Haze to push these 2 explorers here, so I don't have to worry about that land next turn. And then I have Suffocating Shroud at the 2nd level. So for each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. I can try to get in here and see if I can deal with that. I don't have the movement range though. Target it. I'm too far away. Yeah, I wouldn't have that many anyway, so that's okay. That one might be the play. Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So I'm going to target this land here. Don't have to move presence around for it. So for each adjacent land with your presence, 1 damage to a different invader. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do 4 damage here to different invaders. And get these cities down to 1 health. It also does 1 damage, so I'll be able to kill one of those cities. I think that's the play, just to get some more fear. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's that. I go to discard my stuff. have to reclaim with Shroud again. We'll see. I am reclaiming with Lightning again. Oh, 4 card plays this turn. And then I also have, during time passes, let's see, I get to kind of rearrange stuff here. So I'm going to put that in there and that in there. Because those were the same lands. Okay. And how many lands do I have with damaged invaders? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 fear, 1 energy. It's going to get me another fear card. So 2 fear cards, 2 more to Terra level 3. And 1 energy. Okay, cool. So now I'm back to growth. I'm going to reclaim with lightning, I know that for sure. So let me get my land energy. And I'm going to get a miner, because I have very little energy on lightning. So, my options here are Call to Ferocity. Fire in the Sky is probably going to be the play, because it's got perfect elements, and it's really good. Elemental Boon, though, is not bad. Problem is, these spirits don't really share any elements aside from air, and I guess a little bit of water. But I'm not worried about the water just yet. And Dry Wood explodes into smoldering splinters. You may spend 1 energy to make this fast. Now I'm going to get Fire in the Sky. I don't think I should think too hard about that. And then I'll get 2 energy for Presence. And I have 4 card plays this turn. Unfortunately, I only have 3 energy, so I'm going to have to do a free card and then a bunch of 1-cost things. My free card is Harbingers of Lightning. Probably playing Fire in the Sky. Fortunately, I don't have any on that I can push in there. I got them killed, so that's not great. Unfortunately, that's not ravaging this turn. Sands are, and I don't have to worry too much about Sands. Just this one, but I can deal with that just fine. Let's see, they're doing 5 damage, so I might do Elusive Ambushes as well. And I'll wait to see if I need Lightning's Boon before I pick my last one, but that's actually for elements. Yeah, it's going to be Lightning's Boon anyway. So those will be my card plays, collectively costing all of my energy. Okay. So that's that. And now I get to move on to Mist. I'll probably have to reclaim, to be honest. Let's see. I've got Thriving Choke Fungus and Dissolving Vapors left. Dissolving Vapors, I do really want to get in on there, because I'll be able to do a lot of damage. And I can get to it. So, I'm not going to reclaim, I'm going to push that off. Add a presence in here. I can move a presence as well. I want to get closer to that, so let me go ahead and move this guy here. And then I've got 2 cards left and 2 card plays, so let me get my 2 energy. Oh, I also gain a power card for this, so maybe not those cards. I'll have 6 energy this turn, so I want a major. I may as well. I'll see if I get anything good, and if not, I'll probably just not gain one. Okay. Infestation of Venomous Spiders is okay. Might do that. Land Thrashes in Furious Pain. I do have a lot of blights. That's actually okay. Well, even though it doesn't match my elements whatsoever, and it has fire. Because that will let me do, what? 6, 8 damage, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage here. It's pretty good. And then Angry Bears and Instruments of Their Own Ruin. Yeah, I'm not getting either of those. between these two, let's see, if I do get Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, I'm not going to get an energy, but I will have the energy to pay for these anyway. That'll let me do so much damage here to start clearing this out. So yeah, I think that's the play. Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, I'll go ahead and forget. Oof, these are also good. Might forget Thriving Choke Fungus since it's the odd man out this turn. Yeah, I'll go ahead and forget that. And I'll play these two cards. Go ahead and gain my 2 energy. I can pay for those. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So I'm gonna go into. He's stuck in a reclaim cycle on lightning, possibly. I don't want that though, so I'm gonna try to fight that off. I'll be able to kill a city this turn with Thundering Destruction. Okay. So on lightning, I'm gonna kill a city. Where do I want to do it? Do I want to do it just in that sands and clear it out? Problem is that I won't be able to kill the town. So, no, I'm not going to do that there. So I'm going to use Harbingers of Lightning as a fast power, targeting this land, push these 2 to Han here. 1 fear, because I pushed into a land with towns. And then I'm going to use Elusive Ambushes here to defend 4. And the rest of my powers can be fast. I don't have to worry about that. Cool. So I have 2 fear and add a strife. Let's see, they're ravaging the sands. I've got all the sands dealt with unless I get a bad event. So I can start focusing on those coastal lands instead. So they're going to build here. I'm going to stop that from building a city. I'm just going to go ahead and use, well, actually no, I don't want to use Thundering Destruction there because I can kill a city this turn instead, which is better. But where do I want to do that? That's the question. Don't have to worry about this city. Probably don't have to worry about this one. It's only got 1 health now. So I could let them build the city here just so I can destroy it in the slow phase. That might be the play. As far as this land, I could do it there just so it's easier to clean everything up later. So yeah, let me do that. So I'm gonna. Do I want to do that though? I don't know that I do. So I'm gonna be doing 8 damage here, plus 1 damage to each invader. That should be enough to clean it up. Let's see. I'll need 6, 10 damage. Yeah, no, that's fine. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to save Thundering Destruction until the slow power phase instead. You know what, I played Lightning's Boon and I didn't even realize it. So that changes this a little bit. Because I can just clear that out now so I don't have to worry about a bad event or something happening, which is certainly possible. So Lightning's Boon being used on Shroud of Silent Mist. It's going to go ahead and use Dissolving Vapors here to do 1 damage to each invader, and 1 fear. And then it's going to go ahead and use the Land Thrashes in Furious Pain there. It does 4 damage for the blight that's already in there, plus an additional 4 for the blight that's around it to do 8 damage. And that is going to be just enough to kill everything in this land. 2, 4 fear, 8 fear for that. Which will shuffle down and get me a 3rd fear card. So those were the 2 fast powers with him. And I do still have Fire in the Sky. So where do I want to use it? It's going to get me 2 fear wherever I use it. Don't need to do it there. So maybe that coastal jungle. You know what? I'm gonna do it here instead. So I got my 2 fear for it. I'm good. Alright. I'm saving Thundering Destruction until the slow phase, saving my innates from Shroud until the slow phase. And now I go to an event. Alright, so I get Terror level 2 as Terror breeds aggression for every 2 fear cards currently in the earned fear cards pile. Invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging. Very, very bad, because I have 3 fear cards there. So I'm going to hope that the fear cards give me some defense or removal. Otherwise, I'm going to be in for a rough time here. Beasts multiply on each board. Add 1 beast to a land adjacent to beasts. I don't have any beasts. And then coordinated defense. When invaders ravage, if the land has both Dahan and presence, defend 5. That'll at least save this one here. But I won't save this one or this one, so I'll have to hope that one of my 3 fear cards lets me deal with those sands. I'll leave that out just so I remember. Alright, first fear card here. Too many monsters. Terror level 2. Each player removes 1 explorer in 1 town from a land with beasts, or 1 I don't have any beasts, so nothing. Discord. Each player adds 1 strife in a different land with at least 2 invaders. Then each invader takes 1 damage per strife that it has. That's not going to save it either. Well, if I put it there, or use it to kill that city, which is probably okay. Don't really have any immediate needs that I need to do with this particular one, so I guess I'll put 1 in here. Takes 1 damage plus 1 for the Badlands, so it dies right away. Tells me a fear. And for my second one, I could just clear out that land, which is probably okay. So I'll do that. Clear that out. Oh wait, that one's not damaged. Shit. Okay, I won't do that. I'm okay with that one building a city, so that's totally fine. And then this one's dealt with, so I guess I'll just throw it in here. And I'll do this. Weirdly, thanks to the Badlands, the extra damage that the Badlands does is just an extra damage. That doesn't matter for having the strife under it, so it'll clear that out. And then Unrest, each player adds 1 strife to a city, or for a town. And for the rest of this turn, invaders have -1 health per strife to a minimum of 1. Doesn't save me. So none of those fear cards helped as far as protecting these 2 sands, which are both going to cascade. Which may lose me this game, unfortunately. Shit. I was very close to getting this down. That was a really bad fear card and really unlucky fear card, or really bad event and really unlucky fear cards. Shit. Okay, well, let's play it out, just finish this up. So each player adds 1 strife to a town. I really wish it was just Explorer instead. Here. And then Ravage. So they're going to Ravage in Sands, empty. This one's defended 9, so they will fight back. And they have enough damage to kill all those. Which does get me to Terror level 3. So if I had killed this one city, I would have won. And I could have with Thundering Destruction here. Should have done it. not think about it. Unfortunately, I can't take that back. I've already revealed too much information, so yeah, that's that. And then they're gonna blight here, which cascades, kills 2 presence. And this one also cascades and kills a presence. And I have no blight left on the blight card, so I lose. Very unlucky. I was in a strong position to win this game, and in fact I would have won if I had killed this city. So, yeah, extremely, extremely unlucky there. Extra damage per fear card, so Explorer's doing 1. Yep. And I could have put the Fire and the Size Strife in one of those and stopped it. I should have just expected something dumb to happen and done that. Alright, well, I'm not going to retcon it. I'll go ahead and score it up based on what just happened. This was a loss. Unfortunately, if I could undo that turn just ever so slightly, I would have won instead. That's how razor thin Spirit Island can be sometimes. Let me go ahead and score this. Gonna be a low scoring game because I had a lot of blight on the boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The other thing is that I did elect to remove the blight from the Blighted Island card from a prior event, and if I hadn't done that, I also would have won this game. So there's mistakes that were made. That was about an hour and a half. Pretty normal for a 2-spirit game. Just an 11-point game, pretty poor. But that happens. That's okay. I feel like I played this much better, so a loss is fine. Really, the way that I played was pretty good, so I am not too upset about that one. And if I had won the game instead, it would have been a super fast win too. So I'm just gonna mark this in if I had won instead, just so I can see it. Because it was that close. Six cards there. These are all the same. So yeah, if that had been a win, that would have been worth 49 points, which is pretty good. Not a bad scoring game. Okay. Yeah, so that was a tough one. I made a couple decisions at the end that just backfired on me. But there's no way I could really have known that. I feel like this is still not centered either. Let me see if I can fix that. Made a couple decisions that just backfired. It happens. So sometimes them's some breaks. If you get an event card that adds damage to an invader when you have fear cards earned, then you can't have those solo explorers there. And then having 3 fear cards, none of which helped me get rid of those solo explorers, also pretty unlucky. There are a lot of fear cards that could have dealt with that. Like probably this one that I just earned. Would have added defend 5, inlands adjacent to 3 Badlands Beast Disease. Might not have done anything actually. Yeah, that wouldn't have helped either. So yeah, that's okay. Alright, well, mark it in as a loss. Marked it as a win too, just because it was so close. And if I had just backed up one step in that turn, I would have won. So, but it is a loss, so that goes in the annals. But I feel like I played this one pretty well. Getting the hang of Shroud definitely more than I was before. So yeah, that's Spirit Island game. Another Shroud game. Not my best Spirit for sure. I'm also not the best with lightning. I kind of got stuck a little bit, but I think it was okay with lightning this game. I'm gonna go ahead and reset here for another game, but I'm gonna take a break first. So if you're watching, feel free to come back. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to check out my next video once it does launch. I'm going to try to upload at least 2 a week so I can get some content going.